Mary Red. 1685, 28 April 1721, also known as Mark Red, was an English pirate. She and Anne Bonny were two famous female pirates from the 18th century, and among the few women known to have been convicted of piracy at the height of the golden age of piracy. Reed was born in England in 1685. She began dressing as a boy at a young age, at first at her mother's urging, in order to receive inheritance money, and then as a teenager in order to join the British military. She then married and upon her husband's death moved to the West Indies around 1715. In 1720, she met Jack Rackham and joined his crew, dressing as a man alongside Anne Bonny. Her time as a pirate was successful but short-lived, as she, Bonny and Rackham were arrested in November 1720. Rackham was executed, but Red and Bonny both claimed to be pregnant and received delayed sentences. Red died of a fever in April 1721. Her mother had married a sailor with whom she had a son. One as her mother's husband then disappeared at sea. His mother then began to send her financial support too. Soon she became pregnant again by another man and went to live with friends in the country to hide the shameful second pregnancy. After she arrived in the country, the infant boy died and she gave birth to a girl, Mary. Several years later, on a visit, her mother passed off young Mary as her first and only child, the boy, to continue receiving support from the boy's grandmother. The grandmother was fooled and they lived on her money until the grandmother died. At age 13, dressed as a boy, Red found work as a footboy and then she later joined the British military and the crew of a British man-of-war. She later quit this and moved into Flanders, where she carried arms in a regiment of foot as a cadet and served bravely but couldn't receive a commission because promotion in those days was mostly by purchase. Mary moved on to a regiment of horse, which was allied with Dutch forces against the French. This could have been during the 9 Years' War or during the War of the Spanish Succession. Reed, in male disguise, proved herself through battle, but fell in love with a Flemish soldier. When they married, she used their military commission and gifts from intrigued brethren in arms to acquire an inn named Dry Hoofizes, the Three Horseshoes, near Breda Castle in the Netherlands. Upon her husband's early death, Red resumed male dress and military service in the Netherlands. With peace, there was no room for advancement, so she quit and boarded a ship bound for the West Indies. This ship that she boarded for the West Indies happened to be boarded by a pirate ship, and her being disguised as a British male helped her, and they took her on board with the crew, which was British. Becoming a pirate. Reed's ship was taken by pirates, whom she willingly joined. She accepted the king's pardon LE C-1718, 1719, then took a commission to privateer, but joined the crew in mutiny. In 1720, she joined pirate John Calico Jack Rackham and his companion, Anne Bonny, who both believed her to be a man. On 22 August 1720, the three stole an armed sloop named William from port in Nassau. Scholars are uncertain how female pirates like Reed and Bonny concealed their sex in a male-dominated environment. Some scholars, however, have theorized that the wearing of breeches by female pirates may have been either a method of hiding their identity or simply as practical clothing that solidified their working place on board the ship among the other seamen. When Bonny told Reed that she was a woman because she was attracted to her, Red revealed that she too was a woman. To abate the jealousy of her lover, Rackham, who suspected romantic involvement between the two, Bonny told him that Red was a woman. Speculation over the relationship between Bonny and Reed led to images depicting the two in battle together. A victim of the pirates, Dorothy Thomas, left a description of Red and Bonny. They wore men's jackets and long trousers and handkerchiefs tied about their heads, and each of them had a machete and pistol in their hands, and they cursed and swore at the men to murder her or Dorothy Thomas. Thomas also recorded that she knew that they were women from the largeness of their breasts. Capture and imprisonment. On 15 November 1720, pirate hunter Captain Jonathan Barnett took Rackham's crew by surprise while they hosted a rum party with another crew of Englishmen at Negril Point off the west coast of the colony of Jamaica. After a volley of fire disabled the pirate vessel, Rackham's crew and their guests fled to the hold, leaving only the women and one other to fight Barnett's boarding party. It is also possible that Rackham and his crew were too drunk to fight. Allegedly, Reed angrily shot into the hold, killing one and wounding others when the men would not come up and fight with them. Barnett's crew eventually overcame the women. Rackham surrendered, requesting quarter. Rackham and his crew were arrested and brought to trial in what is now Spanish Town, Jamaica, where they were sentenced to hang for acts of piracy, as were Red and Bonnie. However, the women claimed they were both quick with child, known as pleading the belly, and received temporary stays of execution. Mary Red declared in front of the court that she had never committed adultery and fornication with any man of sorts on the ship. She commended the court before her but was ultimately tried after distinguishing the nature of her crimes. One of the pieces of evidence that was included with her crimes was that she was with Rackham, and that they fell into discourse when he took Reed as a young man. Reed died of a violent fever while in prison. Her 28 April 1720 one burial is in the records of St. Catherine's Church in Jamaica. There is no record of the burial of her baby, suggesting that she may have died while pregnant.